as we mentioned in the RNS, there's a lot of moves at the moment to create these immunology franchises. And we are well placed in both immunology and oncology to create that franchise. And as I've mentioned again in the RNS, it should be a transformational quarter for us.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Arjan Reginald, the Chief Executive of Roquefort Therapeutics. Arjan, very good to speak with you. And we haven't spoken for a while, so tell us how the summer's been for the company.
Thank you, Stephen. Yes, very nice to speak to you again. It's been a good summer. It's been busy, but a productive summer. We've been able to progress the licensing deal with PDC, which we're hoping to complete in this quarter, and also move both the siRNA program and the MK programs forward, as well as getting the patent approved for the MK program.
And that's right, because you are starting the autumn with positive news. The European Patent Office has granted the patent for the MK cell therapy. Can you remind us what the MK cell therapy is?
Certainly, yes. So the mesodermal cell, the MK cell, is a novel cell type that we invented. It's a cell type which uniquely is able to activate natural killer cells. So it's able to activate the body's own immune system, whether that's to kill cancer or to treat an immune disease. But it's the new way that we look at these more complicated diseases, where you may have an immunological disease, or as I said, you may have a cancer which requires the immune system to be upregulated. Then these mesodermal cells can have a direct effect, but their more profound effect is that they can augment the body's own immune system to have that effect. And that's a new field which is particularly attractive, which is particularly hot at the moment in biotech and pharma, trying to harness the immune system to do things that our existing medicines can't do.
So take us through the preclinical development of the MK cell program, please, Arjan.
Certainly, yes. So we've been developing the MK program, myself and some of the other founders, since 2019. And what we've been able to demonstrate is that the MK cells are a novel cell type. What that means is this is a cell that doesn't occur in nature. It's based on the work of our scientific founder, Professor Sir Martin Evans, who won the Nobel Prize. And what Martin was able to create was a platform where we could engineer cells for a specific function. And the function we chose here was the function to modulate the immune system to help with fighting diseases. And the particular function that we were able to demonstrate in the preclinical work is that we can activate the body's cells, which are called natural killer cells. And the name is quite helpful, right? Because it sort of points out what they do. The natural killer cells function is to kill cancer or to fight other diseases. And they have a profound effect in immunological diseases as well. So in our preclinical development, what we've been able to do is to demonstrate that our mesodermal cells can have a similar function to natural killer cells, but more importantly, they can augment the function of the natural killer cells. So they can prime or activate the natural killer cells. The last piece of the puzzle was that we believe our mesodermal cells can also smooth some of the side effects. So this new area of cell therapy and cell therapy in cancer and immune disease is very hot. It's very active. It's very attractive. But some of the cell types that they're using originally, CAR T cells, have a very profound negative side effect profile. So the idea for us of using these mesodermal cells is that we can generate a profound benefit for the patient, particularly by augmenting natural killer cells, but we can also reduce the side effect profile. So that's really the next step for us, is to demonstrate that that activity can be translated into the clinic.
So this European patent covers 39 countries. What does it actually cover for the company?
Yes, so the patent covers two key elements. First of all, it covers something called the composition of matter. What that means is that it covers the cell, the mesodermal cell itself, regardless of how you manufacture it. As I mentioned, this is a unique cell type. So this is a completely novel cell. So this cell doesn't occur in nature. So we have a fingerprint technology using about 370 markers on the surface of the cell, which gives us the unique identity of this cell. So regardless of how you generate this cell, how you manufacture this cell, it is ours. Obviously, the process of manufacturing it is not trivial. As I said, it's based on the work of our scientific founder, Nobel Prize winner Sir Martin Evans. So we'd be very, very surprised if anyone could reverse manufacture the cell. But even if they could, it's still protected by our patent. The second part, which is probably as important, is it also protects the natural killer cells that are activated by our mesodermal killer cells. So if you were to add our mesodermal cells to natural killer cells, the end product is also protected by a patent. So it's a pretty profound patent, and we're delighted that it's been awarded.
Ajahn, what's next? What should investors be looking out for?
So, as I said, we've been moving multiple things in parallel. PDC deal, which we aim to close this quarter. Licensing deals for the siRNA, the STAT6 siRNA, where there's been a lot of industry interest in STAT6 with some large deals done last year. And now moving forward with the MK and looking at both oncology and immunology. So I think, as we mentioned in the RNS, there's a lot of moves at the moment to create these immunology franchises. And we are well placed in both immunology and oncology to create that franchise. And as I've mentioned again in the RNS, it should be a transformational quarter for us.
I hope you'll keep us posted on any progress. Thank you very much for the update today.
Thank you. Pleasure to speak to you.
That's Ajahn Reginald, the Chief Executive of Roquefort Therapeutics.